All right, sixth graders, this is to help you with question 1 on CR5. It says, which of the following numbers is divisible by 2, 3, 6, and 9? It means what numbers in the list, if I divide 2 into them, let's say like 108, I'm going to get a lovely whole number here. And then when I divide 3 into that number, I also get a beautiful whole number. It means 3, 2 are factors of 108. 6 would have to be a factor of 108. I don't know that 108 is the correct answer. I'm just giving you an example. 9 would have to be a factor of 108. That's what it means. Will it divide nicely into it and get us a whole number here without a remainder? And I don't really remember my divisibility rules from school, to tell you the truth, and I know your teachers go through and they teach you how to determine if numbers can be divided nicely by a number, but I don't know them, but I know them for 2. If a number is divisible by 2, it has to be an even number, which means if I look in the ones place, it has to end in a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. It has to be an even number to be divisible by 2. So 2, luckily I know my divisibility rules for that. So the only ones on the list that will be divisible by 2, divided nicely by 2, are the ones that are even. So in the ones place, they end in a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So do you see how these end in a 5? Those aren't divisible by 2. I don't even have to check those. So now I'm going to check that 108 can be divided by 2. It can. 108 is even. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract off. It's a 0. Bring down the 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. So 2 times 54 would get me to 108. So 108 is divisible by 2. Is 108 divisible by 3? Because if it's divisible by 3 and by 2, then I know it's divisible by 6. Okay. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract off. 10 minus 9 is 1. Drag down that 8. 3 goes into 18 6 times. So 3 times 36 is 108. So 108 is also divisible by 3. 108 is looking pretty good. And I can tell you, this is another little, now my divisibility rules from school must be coming back to me, because if it's a number can be divided out with no remainder by 2 and divided out with no remainder with 3, then I know it's also divisible by 6. I'll prove it right now. 6 goes into 10 once. 1 times 6 is 6. 10 minus 6 is 4. Drag down the 8. 6 goes into 48 8 times. So 6 times 18 is 108. So far it's looking good. 108 looks like I just picked the right number. Hopefully I'm right. And I can already see that 9 will work, because now I remember my divisibility rules for 9. So if it's 108, if I add up the digits, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 8 is 9, and that number can be divided by 9, then I know it's divisible by 9. Wow, this is like grade school coming back to me. 9 goes into 10 once. 1 times 9 is 9. Subtract off. 10 minus 9 is 1. Drag down that 8. 9 goes into 18 twice. So 9 times 12 is 108. 108 is divisible by all of those. And if you're not sure, if you can't remember your divisibility rules, what you could do is you could long divide each of the numbers they give you by whatever numbers you're checking if it's divisible by. I know it takes a little longer, but that's another option if you can't remember your divisibility rules. I hope that helps.